Nice. All right, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. Mayor of Kingstown, DVR Podcast Network, Feed the Bear, pick up the phone mic, whatever you want to call it. We're here to talk about Mayor of Kingstown, Season 4, Episode 6, number 081693, aka Kyle. It's always about Kyle getting himself in trouble again. Check us out at dvrpodcast.com. Become a patron. If you are a fan of this show and you also want to hear the show without ads, you can become a patron at patreon.com/DVR, just like our newest patron, Amber. Thank you, Amber.
Hey,
We
Amber.
welcome
Thanks.
you. Yeah, hey, what's going on? And you hear that voice? That's right. Guess who's back? Heath is back. Solo, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. What an intense last couple of episodes. I was so upset after watching episode 5 that I wasn't on the pod. But but my wife was behind, so we watched 3, 4, and then 5, and then I watched 6 right after. So I
Damn.
did a forfer on Sunday night.
Ooh, on a Sunday too. That's a hell of a way to start the week
That's true.
in
Well, after that
Kingstown.
after that Cowboys game, his adrenaline was pumping so hard.
Oh
He was like,
yeah.
I'm not sleeping anyways.
That's
I might
true.
as well keep it going.
That's true.
Yeah, Ando. I mean, it just, yeah, I was like, Cowboys won. Now let's go to Kingstown with my
Yeah.
boys.
Yes.
Yeah. How you doing, by the way, there, Ando?
Good. I'm excited to talk about something other than football. So let's
Yeah.
let's break down another awesome episode.
Yes. Well, people should know if you like football and you like us, we do a podcast called Around the Couch. You can subscribe to that or subscribe to Daily DVR and check that out as well. But let's jump in. Before we jump in, though, um, Heath was not here last week, and there's a couple. I mean, there's a bunch of things that happened. It's Mayor of Kingstown, but I did want to kind of ask you, Heath. There was the one part, obviously, where Robert and Ian kill the pizza delivery guy, the witness, in
Yes.
cold blood. And Andy and I talked about it for a while, and I thought it would have been cool to have you there too, because it does signal kind of like a change. You know, we've been covering this show from the beginning. We have not seen Ian and Robert do something like this. They have committed violent acts in the line of duty.
Yeah, I think we called it a point of no return or one of those
Yeah.
kind of things.
What were your feelings on that, or the episode, or if, as you jump back in, anything that's in your head?
Well, I first, when I saw that, I was like, uh, they're not going to, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. And when Robert pulled the trigger, I knew it. But you're right. Because Ian, I mean, the serial killer thing with the witness, that was kind of an act, was an accident. He does a lot of covering up. But I don't think we've seen something like this, an innocent person, Ian, involved in killing. So I was like, wow, because I thought the Ian character was going to go one way, in kind of more of a hero way, and trying, but it is past the point of no return to kill a witness. Now, Ian, I love him, but man, that's a lot. But his back is against the wall. He doesn't want to go to prison,
Yeah.
and he's got to do what he's got to do. And Robert is just he was just happy that he could kill someone.
Yeah, he was
Well,
bored. He's like, why not? Let's go take somebody out.
he spent months cleaning his gun. He might as well use it,
Might as well
right?
use
Like,
it.
no
Yeah.
more cartoons.
Oh
Or
man,
Adventure Time didn't have a new episode yet that week.
jeez. But
Um,
also, I mean, just quick hits that I have to bring up. Of course, the Merrill and Kyle thing, and when we found out that Kyle knows who he is now, and then of course, Supersonic Merrill knew by just how he was reacting by his visit. But I mean, he could have intel that it was Mike coming to see him. I don't know, but I'm glad they didn't play that out like, ooh, Merrill knows, but
right,
Kyle doesn't
right.
want, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad Merrill was just like,
Yep.
boom. And I did like that. I mean, the train on fire, of course. And I got to give a shout out, guys. I know this week's episode was directed by Christoph Shrew and written by Molly Foreman. But I would give a shout out to Michael McDonough. I don't think we've ever
Let's do it.
mentioned him, the DP. the guy who's
Yeah.
shooting all this stuff.
Looks
McDonough.
great.
I think it's McDonough. If I apologize, Michael, but I
Great
was hoping his
stuff.
name was Michael McDonald. Then we could sing, but
You don't know
Gonna say that's not stopping
me,
anyone.
but he's
so,
my brother.
but and I mean, and just the whole grand jury thing and seeing Evelyn just crushed. I don't want to rehash. I know we had a
No, it's
pod, but
okay. It's
there's a
good.
lot of these emotions that and things that a lot happened in this episode that carry over to this. I mean, Kyle going to Gen Pop, the warden saying, "You win, Mike," and then that bullshit. When he
Yeah.
was sent to Gen, and then we'll talk about this episode. But man,
Yeah.
can you blame Kyle for maybe
Mm.
not taking Mike's visit?
Yep. Wow. That's good. All right, Solo. We'll crawl it back up.
We're
Let's
caught
do
back
it.
up, baby.
Let's dive in. That's good, man. Yeah, we missed you, but let's jump back in. All right. Well, obviously, the train, what an awesome scene. I should mention we had a great review, a couple of great reviews, and we had an awesome email that I forwarded to you guys. And
Oh
I'll
yeah,
I'll kind
Yes,
of
it was
there's
great.
a couple of them, right?
yeah,
There's
that was it. Wait, let's see. Who
the
was
two
it
you
from
picked out
again?
were great.
What was the guy's name? I got to see where I sent it from. Um, anyway, he was a nice dude. He had some good stuff to say. Um, but one thing is, I want to clear up that it was not a TV. It was the cinder block that went
Right,
through
right.
Ellen's car. I was wrong about that. There was another thing that asked us to
From
maybe not
Charles.
go. Charles. Okay,
Charles.
Charles had some
Charles
good
dropped the
things said
TV.
about the cinder
Oh, wait, it
block.
wasn't a TV.
And he just gave us some nice compliments. Thank you,
Yeah,
Charles.
thank
We
you so much,
appreciate that.
man.
Was
Appreciate
there
it.
anything else from those emails that we should mention, Ando? Or
Let me check it again here.
There was another
oh,
one I
I'm
thought
sorry.
that
There was
called
another one
you a
that
good
talked.
host
Oh,
to guide
yes,
us
that
through.
was
That was
said
very
that
Yeah,
I
the
nice.
was a
host he
good
called a great
host.
great facilitator.
Thank you.
And you are
Appreciate that.
Axel, because
I
me and
Yes.
Ando are
appreciate
all
that.
over the map. He's in the Northern
Oh.
Lights. I'm in some confines in the bowels of hell, and so
The hells of Burbank
the
from
hell's a
from the
Burbank.
set of Price is Right.
Well,
Um, but we did have someone say about theories, okay? Maybe sometimes if we get too into a theory, we could potentially be kind of just guessing at the plot lines or spoiling in a sense. And for a certain respect, I particularly have always had this issue. I love getting into theater because it makes me feel like I'm in the writer's room.
all
Heath,
three
we
of
all, I
us do.
mean, I
All
think
three of
right,
us do.
yeah.
we all
Every show we've
enjoy
ever done is
this.
that way. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. We all
but I
jump
will
into the
say this:
theories.
when we do theories, though, they're literally from our head, and they usually happen spontaneously. A
Hmm.
lot of other
Yes.
places read Reddit and they bring up other, and you don't know where the source is. Did
Yeah,
they see a
yeah.
spoiler? We don't watch ahead. We don't spoil each other. Because I enjoy it. I mean, I went like a week and a half without watching an episode, and then I was like, what the heck am I doing? But I would
Yeah.
love to go ahead, but I don't trust myself on the pod.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I'll be like,
I could
when
I
Bunny
couldn't
wakes
keep it
up
Same.
in
and
my head.
shoots, yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't. Like, I just watched the 4 episodes and I had to refresh what happened, and I did there. It all
Yep.
bonded
Yeah,
together
yeah.
or banded or
So
whatever, glued
Heath
together.
Heath said what I was going to say, so
Oh,
we
I'm
can move. I
sorry.
was no, I'm glad
No,
you put it
that's
more succinctly than I was
yep.
going to say.
Yeah.
That's totally true. It happens naturally. We don't look ahead. We don't know anything. And if it's something like where we talked about Nina potentially being involved with the Colombians because of Swiss bank accounts, I think it's natural when you see Switzerland on a phone for the host of the podcast to kind of say, that might be some Swiss bank accounts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I
it's
thought
kind of it's kind of
I
why
thought it
they
was a
show it on the
person she
screen,
was
right?
calling.
Like yeah, Solo's
So
like her Uncle Heinrich or whatever. I don't. Is that a Swedish name? That's a German name. I don't know. They're close by.
Heinrich. Yeah.
Anyway, right? It could be Swedish.
Yeah.
Um.
She was
Anyway,
calling
we'll
somebody
call
from ABBA or
yeah,
Roxette, one of the
Abba
two.
exactly. Bjorn. Bjorn. There
Henrik.
we go.
Henrik Lundqvist.
Henrik.
He's
Anyway, it doesn't. Regardless of that, we appreciate you saying that
of
and
course.
writing that review.
Hmm.
And just so you know, we would never spoil or read anything. We've been doing this for almost 20 years and we all hate spoilers. we're all the type of people who would rather go into like a movie or a TV show knowing nothing
Hmm.
and letting, because I just had a conversation with my son about it. It's the old thing is letting the artist as they intended the story to be told, right?
Right.
Like that's people, they spend months saying this scene should go before this one should go here, we need to build tension. And when you find spoilers and you find out what's going to happen, you're ruining the road that they wanted to hold your hand and take you on this journey, and you're just ignoring them, and they're the ones who created it, so it's kind of
Yeah.
disrespectful, we've always felt. But anyway, let's move on. We open with an awesome scene. Great cinematographer call out, because I don't know if this was a mix of CGI practical, but this big train derailment on fire, this whole thing, they kept on coming back from it. And then the shot when Mike and Moses are up on the mountain looking down
Mm,
over it, which was very metaphoric. Bunny's down there. And then what happens? Obviously, we see Bunny driving around with Lamar, who now, hey, we gotta find out what's up with Lamar. But this was just a great back and forth. Mike on the phone with Bunny, getting nervous. What's going on? All of a sudden, Bunny gets hit. Guys with ski masks. Lamar does jump out of the car, and Bunny saying, "Where you going? Where you going?" Right?
yeah.
And then Bunny gets hit because he's still in the car. And
Right.
then he kind of pulls himself out of the car, and then the guys mysteriously go away. It's almost like, let me ask you this, Solo, did you feel like they didn't want to kill Bunny? They were, maybe, I don't know, there was a lot of gunfire,
I
but why did they leave so quickly?
I think they left so quickly because the driver was in on it and they had a plan not to kill him. He'll come out of the car after the strip, you know, gets the tire. Because even Bunny's like, just drive on the rims, and he gets out.
Yeah,
That
yep.
seemed too planned,
I
and it
yeah,
almost like the shots he was shooting were kind of warning shots. Same thing with the guys coming; they were kind of not hitting him, and there's no way because he even tells Mike, "Oh, I dumped two mags, five shooters, and he's gonna wait for you to be out, and then they're just gonna kill you." So
Yeah.
he didn't scare them away. That's BS. That's the biggest BS I heard.
yeah. I think that I mean, right as I was watching it, I was pretty positive he was in on it with whoever it was because he gets out of the car, they shoot the car, he fires in the air to signal to those guys, Bunny's down, get out of here now. That I mean, that was how I took it. I mean,
Okay.
100%.
And
And with the
and
fact that they were also, I suspected they were Moses's guys because I think we had mentioned it last week or the week before that it had been confirmed that his guys are ex-military guys. That seemed way more like a military type of
It was.
operation
It
than
was.
it did
yeah,
a
good point.
cartel.
100%.
That's a good point. Ooh, it was a great scene though. And I'm sorry that Bunny got shot too, because Bunny's
Yeah.
always getting fucked up and we don't like it. So get well, Bunny. Back at the train, awesome train scene. Ian and Stevie are walking around down there while Mike and Moses are up on the perch watching, right? It's such a cool shot. I love the way they set this up, that they can see from up there,
Yeah.
and they're waiting for Bunny, right? That's what Mike was talking to him about.
Yeah. He
And then
pinned him.
Mike's talking to Ian and he finds out Bunny got hit. Before that, oh, I should say that that's when LJ, Moses, and Mike have a conversation. And I didn't catch this my first watch. Mike starts out right away saying to Moses, "Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry. They didn't this wasn't about Bunny. This was about the train thing." They were like, the cops are gonna think you might have had something to do with this. This was your depot. This was before they find out what happened, that Bunny got shot. And that surprised me that Mike right away was kind of like, are you covered with this? Are you going to get in trouble? And I guess, was that because they left the guns in and the cops found the burnt up guns and stuff inside the train? Or what did I wanted to, I don't know, Ando,
I
what
think
did you
I think
think
with
about
Mike saying that exact line, I think it's more just that. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows that Moses is involved in illegal stuff, and they say the train was there, so he's obviously going to be a person of interest just because the train was at that spot. Why would
Okay.
people? That was how I took it, anyways.
Hmm. Yeah, I wasn't sure because when they were on the ground, I don't think Ian and Stevie mentioned that they found like guns and stuff burnt, which they probably would though, right?
Yeah.
Like once they went through the
The thing that I really
wreckage.
wondered about though with that whole scene was especially with Stevie and Ian, and I didn't catch it till I watched it back. But Stevie says something about how the EDM, which is basically, or EDR, which is the black box, was tampered with.
Hmm.
That doesn't seem like something the cartel would waste their time with. And the train was at the depot, at Moses's
Well, I
depot.
think, but isn't it they did that because the emergency stop, whatever, didn't that allowed it not to work?
Yeah, well, they said there's two different things. They said there's the black box and the dead man switch is what triggers the brake. But
Right.
he said something specifically about the black box being tampered with,
Yeah. So the dead
not
man
just
switch didn't work,
destroyed.
right?
So that meant somebody had to have go in and mess with the black box. The fact that he said that just stuck out to me. Like, why? And the cartel doesn't seem like that's not. I mean, they just torch everything and move on. Why would they care about tampering with the black box?
Because you what you're inferring is that that would in some way lead back to Frank
Yeah, and
because
somehow
That he
he's
did his
his whole plan for
yeah.
getting Bunny to come there.
Okay. Well, it could have
but
been
the
that Frank did it after before the cops had a
Well,
chance to
yeah, there you go.
arrive.
That could be
but
too.
what but wasn't the cartel kid or whatever we call him,
Yeah,
what's his name?
Sicario, we'll just call him. I
Sicario.
can't remember what his
Sicario.
name is. Yeah.
Sicario.
Because he was casing out the train.
Hmm.
Yes.
Because so I was like, okay, it must be the cartel
It's
behind this.
possible.
But
It made
Yeah.
me question the fact is Moses somehow tied in with the Colombians? And there's a power struggle going on between Moses and the warden to get with the Colombians or something.
Hmm.
It's not
That,
then
fully
maybe they put a
formed.
hit on Moses.
yes.
That's the only
Hey,
thing.
listen, Ando, I
Sorry about
love
the
it.
theories, but can't
No,
help it.
no, no. But at the speed that this show is moving and the way in which double crosses and such are being revealed, it would not be wrong to assume that there is something going on with these other parties between them that we didn't know about, right?
Hmm.
Like there is the Torres Hobbs thing, like, but she also seems to have an affinity for the AB. So you don't know what her background with that is. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a history. They came
Yeah.
from other places, other prisons.
Now it could be that the cartel was casing it out, and Frank did that before the cartel could do anything.
That's right.
Oh
That
Right?
yeah, that's a good point too.
That would make sense because doesn't later on they say six of my guys died? Was he talking about the train,
I think
Sicario,
I uh
or was he talking about
the,
the
oh, you mean when
firestorm?
they're talking at the diner?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
because
that was the burning of the house, wasn't it? The
okay,
firebombing?
that's probably
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, because I was a
Yeah.
little confused because I thought it was something to do with the again
Yeah,
fire and
there
the
was a lot of
train.
stuff going on in that
Yeah.
conversation, so
Yeah.
we'll have
Okay.
to break that down when we get
Well,
to that scene.
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
well, Moses doesn't seem too worried because he says that it's just grandstanding. Um, they that the Colombians didn't take the shit just to kind of prove to them how flush they are. They're not going to be able to. Nobody will be able to trace it to him. And anyway, he's going to get them before the cops can get him, right? So he's just basically, puffing his chest out
Yeah.
when Mike, I think, realizes
He's
very
he's
early, Mike, I think, is realizing this is something like a little chip I might have in my pocket now, right? That the cops, because in the same way that he's got the chip in his pocket on Nina with the gun and Ian, right? And shit that he has the cops on his side. So
Mhm.
I think that was interesting to me.
Thought it
Then
was
I
funny how
apologize.
Moses accuses them of grandstanding. Well, he's basically doing the same exact thing. He's also
Yes,
grandstanding to
Right.
Mike.
yes,
Like it's
totally,
just, yeah,
Ando.
Moses
Thank
is
you.
such an awesome character.
Yep. He's this is such great acting too. He's so
Yeah.
Mike. He believes
Yeah.
everything he's saying, man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he does.
Um, then we get. I'm sorry. This was what happens after. Right from the downstairs, Mike is talking to Ian. He gets the call. Bunny got hit, multiple gunshot wounds. Mike tells Moses. Moses seems very upset. His boys seem a little bit suspect, but he seems very upset. Solo, did you clock at this point that he was upset? Were you thinking anything? What were you
You
thinking?
know, I was thinking that, I mean, he put up a good act, but there's a couple of things. One, Mike, when Mike leaves, he gives him like a look around when he says, "I'm with you, Mike." And Mike kind of like gives a look like, "I see through your bullshit," but
Yeah, Moses
also
isn't looking
the
at him,
thing,
but the
hold
look
on one
on
second.
Renner's face. Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, no, no. And one thing I want to say is that by Moses wants to put his guys around Bunny at the hospital, and Mike says no. We're going to put the PD there, and Moses didn't like that. And I think that's where Mike is kind of like, I don't freaking trust you. You're the devil in disguise. If you, I need to know if you had something to do with it. I don't trust you. And there was a
Yes.
lot being said and looked at in that conversation that on a second rewatch, you see the signs more.
Yep.
Sorry, Ando.
No, I was just completely agreeing with you. That look that he turns and gives to him, and Moses is like looking straight ahead, and you can see Renner in the background just kind of turn his head like
Yeah,
I
it was weird, right? It was
yeah.
quick. It
It
was
was
really quick.
great. And if you happen to be looking away from the screen for a second, you wouldn't have even seen it.
You
But
wouldn't
it
have
was
seen it.
so subtle, and it was yeah. I was a suspect of Moses this entire episode. I mean, I've always been suspicious of him, but I was pretty certain early on that he was going to
Yeah.
be the one that
And so
was
was Mike,
yeah.
right? Mike has been suspicious of Moses from the get-go.
Yeah.
Um, so we get a quick, we get some quick prison shit. We jump to the prison. Kyle's and Gen Pop. Oh my God, this shit is terrifying. I am so
Oh,
scared. This is so scary. Everybody's looking at him. He's looking at everyone. I don't know what the fuck's going on. They are just sitting on their beds and then they get called up to the line. Some guy kind of recognizes them. Kyle elbows him in the face, keeps walking out.
well, Michael
Oh
Keaton,
man.
Batman '89.
I'm
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
You know, I am
We're
really
like,
shocked that he didn't die in this episode because as soon as I figured out what
no
the title of
shit.
the episode meant, I'm like, okay, they're
Yeah.
finally going to do it. This is
I
finally when
know.
Kyle goes out. I was
I
shocked when he
know.
survived.
And then also for the preview, what we get on the screeners is like a shot of Mike being held back by the cops,
Oh
which we
yeah,
know is
that's
from
right.
later on when he's trying to get into the
Yeah,
prison,
Yeah.
which is related.
Yep.
But I immediately thought, oh, Kyle's dead,
Yep.
right?
yeah.
Because we're always waiting for Kyle to die.
Yes.
Um,
You just did a
anyway,
Jewish mom thing to Costin. That was
Kyle's
awesome.
nice. Well, it's my background. So now we're in the prison again. Keen, I'm getting his name right now, right? Breen, Keen.
Breen.
Breen, Breen.
He
It's
doesn't
Breen.
deserve to get his name right.
You know what?
Breen,
I was when I was watching, I was calling him Lisbon. I don't know why it was
Lisbon.
called Lisbon.
Interesting. Breen is getting mad at his locker. Kevin tells him to chill out. This is interesting. That's a little metaphor for who they are, right? Um,
There's a couple
Torres.
metaphors for Breen in this episode.
Yeah, that's something more than a metaphor.
Axel's favorite scene of
Um,
this season.
yeah. Torres walks in. He gets mad at Kevin. He tells everyone, put your phones away. He throws Kevin up against the wall when everyone walks out. And he says, takes the phone out of his pocket. I meant it. Take your phone. You know, remember who you work for. Because remember in like, what was that? The first episode, Nina knew that Kevin was working for Bunny. And I'm surprised that Kevin is still breathing and working at this prison
Yeah.
at this point, right? Like he's been not doing what they said for 6 episodes now. So
You know, though, one of the themes of this show has kind of been keep your enemies close because
that's
it's the
true.
same thing with
That's
Mike going
true.
and hanging out with Moses all the time.
Right.
And it's
Keep
like
them around.
keep them around so you have some leverage on other people. I think that's why
Yep.
Kevin is still there.
Info. And you can get info. You can
Yeah.
follow what they're
Or
doing.
you can
Good
That's a good
point.
blackmail
point.
them
Yeah.
or whatever. I
Yep.
mean, I think that's why
Yep.
he's still there. That because I had that same thought watching this. I'm like, I'm surprised they haven't got rid of him. And I thought about it a little longer. And I think that's the reason why.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. And this was a conversation I think you were making reference to earlier, Solo, a little bit, because we have Mike and Moses move their conversation from the hilltop to in front of the hospital. They're just standing there for some reason in front of the hospital. I guess they don't want to go in yet or whatever. And that's where they kind of have their disagreement, where Moses says, LJ has called up our troops, right, from Detroit. I'll put soldiers on the front and the back. And Mike
Oh,
says,
okay.
no, 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 no. I'm going to do the cops will do it. The cops will do it. And then Moses goes, okay, okay, that's right. I'll keep my men on the streets. Lock down the streets. You're right, Mike. You're right, Mayor. And that was an interesting little, but that's like the Nina thing, right?
Yeah,
Where people,
right.
whenever anybody, this is Mike's life. Whenever anyone agrees with him, he's instantly super suspicious, right? If they fight him,
Martin.
he's like, okay, I know what's happening now. I know how to fight. But if they're like,
Yeah.
you're right, Mike, he's like, fuck you. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, double crosser.
So this was interesting because later on we also find that this comes to play with the Lamar scene too.
Yep.
Ian and Steve are hanging.
You
Steve are
know,
hanging
before we
out.
get off the hospital thing, while they were talking there, I have a prediction off of this scene. One of the two
Oh,
lines they say is Moses says, "I've never been arrested, but I have been
yes.
shot," and
Thank you.
Mike says, I'm the opposite. By the end of the season, both of those things are going to happen. Mike will be
Oh,
shot, and
and
Moses will be arrested.
see, Ando, you got. I have that in my
Well, you've
notes
watched like
that he
seven
says that.
seasons ahead, right? So you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that
No,
was a great line though because
it was
yeah, he
awesome line.
says
Yeah.
Moses says, um, "I've been shot but never been arrested," and Mike says something like he just says opposite for me.
Yep, I'm just the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah, and that's interesting,
I thought
right?
he was shot. That's why I was started thinking. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't he get shot? And I'm like, I don't know who got shot in this show
I think
anymore.
Mike got stabbed, but I don't think he
Yeah, I
got
think
shot.
stabbed and beaten a few times, I think, but I don't think
Yeah.
he's maybe
No,
a
no
baseball bat or
shot.
something.
Yeah,
He's been injured a couple times, but I don't
yep.
think shot.
Yeah.
That's great one. Great pickup there, Ando. That you definitely put that in.
You know who I
Um,
really miss, and which I think hurts the prison dynamic as well, is I forget his character's name, but James Jordan, uh, the Taylor
oh
Sheridan actor, who was
yes.
the like
Mm.
Mike's guy in
Hmm.
the beginning of the series that got, unfortunately taken down Tower Power. I miss him. I
Yep.
like because he was the best. Carney was growing on me, but I miss James Jordan. Met him at
Yep.
the Burbank car wash, so a little props to
Oh my
J and
God.
J.
Yeah. What was it? What? Wait. What? Now I gotta look. What was his name again on the show? Yeah.
Lashif. Oh, that was Bob.
Ed. Ed Simmons.
Oh, Ed Simmons. Hey,
Ed
Ed.
Simmons, baby. Yep. Good old
Ed.
Ed.
I miss Ed.
One of the many dead motherfuckers on Mayor of Kingstown.
It's
Ian and Stevie are hanging out in front of Don's diner. Mike calls him. He says, let's go meet up with that Sicario kid. I'll meet you at the other diner. But before he can do that, Mike drives up to a warehouse to tell Bunny's sister that he has been shot. We guess this was interesting because there's a lot. I think they just sometimes fall in love with locations on this show, which I'm all about because I love locations.
Right.
Because this was a lot of setups and shots to just show him walk into this
Yeah.
warehouse. It really was. Then,
I like those scenes because you know that the writers they're not really because we had major scenes with his sister earlier in the season, so it's still we still get that it's almost like a check-in they used to do on Game of Thrones. This is what Bunny's sister's doing, and that's because then later on we're not going to think why did they have the scene at the party where he was with his sister and
yeah,
all that?
yeah,
What
yep,
point is
Right.
so?
yep.
I like that they keep reminding us of who's all in play here and what's out there. I just
Good point,
even though that was
Ando.
only a 30-second scene, I really liked it.
Yes, me too. And it was great shots.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the prison, Kevin is on the tier. He is given mail, it looks like. He comes up to Raph's cell, and Raph says they have a little convo. Point of which is Kevin better get his shit together. Raph doesn't give a shit that he's under pressure, and he'll throw him off the fucking tier if he doesn't do what he's told. Because now that Bunny is down, Raph is in charge. He also explains to him that the Colombians are flooding the market outside and inside the prison. We're in a war. He better wake up to it. And Kevin is fucked. I feel bad for this kid.
Yeah,
he doesn't. He does not have much. Raph is not fucking around. This is playing. Is this playing in on a little bit of our previous in that episode when Raph was on the phone with Bunny? He's getting a little. And we always talk about the difference between the power being inside the prison, right?
Hmm.
But the prison
Mhm.
also being the kingdom, like
And
the
well, and how
castle
we've
where
we've kind of
everything
said
is.
that is Raph maybe going to start to turn on Bunny a little bit and try and take his spot. I mean, he says right here, "You work for me." With Bunny
Right.
being down, I
Yep.
keep getting that thought that is, and no, we've seen another guy in Bunny's crew get turned. Could Raph get turned too if he hasn't been already? There's just a lot. I can't get those thoughts out of my head. Especially this scene just reinforced them even more.
Do you think
I
Moses could have gotten to him already, Axel? Or
I I think it's possible because you do have how well is Bunny really taking care of Raph's wife and kid? And if it
oh, he's
turns out
taking
that
care of him.
Frank was, yeah, right. If Frank was like, hey, your kid's going to this great private school now and you're moving, I don't know. It could be that, or it could just be power moves inside the crypts and the power is now inside the castle and he is the king inside the prison. Raph
Right.
is.
And you could
So
also, yeah, you
I'm
could
just saying he
also,
could be more powerful.
yeah, you could also put it to maybe he thinks Bunny's gonna die, so he needs to
Yep.
do it his way and
Hmm.
take over. And that it could be that too. See, that's the great layers of it,
I like
which
that
Maybe
idea
it
better because
is.
I don't want to have every single person be a double cross and a double. I like to have
I
somebody with
know,
someone.
I
So
know,
I don't
I
want
know.
Raph to turn, but I can't keep
No.
get
No.
that thought out of my head.
I feel more like we know also that Raph has like 10 years left to serve. So he's going to be in that prison for a while. So I don't know how beneficial it would be for him to just make some move to give Frank all the power, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So would be more inclined to believe that he just wants to now take over the power. And he might think that Bunny's going to die.
At the same time,
And
though,
that's
Yeah.
what you do have to do, right? Like the
Yeah.
president is incapacitated, he better take over. It's no
Yeah.
fucking around. They're at war. Wake up,
Yep.
Kevin.
at the same time, if he's
Um,
going to be in there for 10 more years, though, and Moses knows that, he could give him an offer that would just blow everything away because he's like, I can get a guy
that's.
for 10 years in there. That's
I think you might. I think the real thing that's happening here is Andy's working with Moses.
Oh,
I
I think
thought
totally.
that's
Moses
already
is
been
working with
confirmed.
here.
That's why he was off screen for a while and then came back. He
Yeah,
was
that's why I was late. I had a call
he's
I had
doing
to make.
deals.
The
He loves
Aurora
the whiskey.
Borealis. There
Yes.
you go.
Yes. Canadian
Um,
whiskey at that. So yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
uh-oh, coming down
See?
the pathway here. Okay, so Stevie and Mike and Ian meet up with Keno, their buddy who we previously saw this season being a Mac Daddy. I think that was either at Kyle's going away or Carney's
It was well, he a couple
funeral.
times. We saw him shooting pool with Stevie at one
Yeah,
time too here.
Yeah, and then
but he
last
was being a
season
Mac
too, he
Daddy.
was around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been around.
Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, they're here to talk to the Sicario. Great conversation, amazing scene. I loved every part of it. This kid is a great actor.
Oh my God.
Mike goes as far as he can, and then he pulls out his gun. And what does he really get from the kid? He says he's trying to ask him who tried to take out Bunny.
Yeah. Who
And
ordered
what
the
he
hit?
says is, we're after kings and knights and
Mayors.
mayors
Well, he
and
says
king.
mayors.
No, we're not after
Rook, I
knights
think
and
it's yeah,
rooks.
I think it is rooks. I
Right.
got it here somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, I know he
we're
ends with
after
kings
knights and rooks, mayors and kings.
because
There
mayors
you
and
go.
kings are him and Bunny is the king,
Hmm.
or Moses, I guess.
But he also, Mike says to him, well, tell your bosses if you stay in town, the local pawns
We'll kill
will
you.
kill
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
But I was trying to understand what he meant by this. And I felt that what the Sicario was trying to say to Mike was, why would we try to take out Bunny? We would try to take out Frank or you.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That's
That
a
makes more
great
sense.
that I like that, Axel, because it's because he goes, Bunny's just a pawn.
Yeah,
And you're
Bunny's
thinking,
just a
oh, he's a
pawn.
pawn, so we taking him off the table. No, they wouldn't go after someone like
Yeah,
him.
that's
They
what I
go
think
after,
he's saying.
yeah, I think you're right. I
So
like
that's
that.
why he's pointing. So Mike actually did get information out of him here,
And could
you know?
could that comment also refer to Hobbs? We know Torres is lined up with the Colombians, and she doesn't know everything that Hobbs is doing. She's more of the just do what you need to do and don't tell me
Well,
everything.
what was the metaphor that I've been using and that they used earlier this season? That the prison is the castle,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Who
Yeah.
sits
Oh,
in the
yeah. That
castle?
would.
The king.
Torres wants to sit on that castle,
Well,
folks.
Nina is the queen.
Yeah.
She's
I
the
know,
queen of the castle. Yeah. And
but
Torres,
Torres
oh,
wants that
And that's what I mean.
queen,
Torres is.
wants that crown.
more ways than one.
So
Not maybe in the way that Breen does.
I was kind of puzzled why Mike even pulled the gun out here because I'm thinking he's
He's
not going
Mike.
to blow somebody away in the restaurant.
Uh,
The kid
I
Skyler
think it
had to
was
know that, didn't he?
just
Or is it just an
it,
adrenaline rush? And
it was a threat, kind of like the
yeah,
next
yeah.
time I'm gonna,
next time I will.
yeah. And I think he was testing him as well, the
Oh,
Sicario, to see
good
because
call.
this dude doesn't flinch. He's
Yeah.
talking about his pancakes. He's
Yeah.
got a baby face, but he's evil, and he's so good at that.
Yeah,
Like
he's
at
good.
first,
He's
I'm
good.
like, is this the right casting? And I'm like, oh
Oh
yeah.
no, yeah, this kid's good.
Now I see where they're going with this because you constantly also I'm constantly asking myself, is he higher up than Mike thinks?
Yeah.
Is he connected? Because remember they bring him brothers,
Yeah.
soldiers, brothers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like because
Yeah.
Mike even was wondering, hey, did anyone I kill?
Yeah. Was
Is he gonna
anyone
blow it?
blood or any? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had
So
that thought about him many times. I have to ask you something else, guys, too, if you've ever heard this before. It's before they walk in, and Kino says he's in there calm and cool like he just ate his cereal. Is that actually a
mhm.
saying? I have never heard that ever. And then like, they
No,
give Ian shit
I
about
agree
it.
with the guys. I've never heard it either.
Okay. Yeah, because Ian's like, what? And
Yeah,
Steve's
I
like, it's an
agree with
expression. I was
Ian.
like, what are you
I
talking?
never
I've
heard it.
never heard this.
No.
I
Have you ever
thought
heard it?
I have, but I could be
No.
playing with
Well, if
my I
somebody
no.
that listens actually heard this, please tell us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell
I don't
us.
remember. I could have sworn I heard it, but who knows? I'm old.
I do like cereal though. I'm a
I
fan of
love
cereal.
cereal. I
Who
got
doesn't?
Magic Spoon. That's what I
All
do.
right, let's move it along here, fellas. Okay, I'm gonna wrap a couple scenes in here together because
Okay.
it's like three of them throughout, which is basically Ellen finds out that her pizza guy witness ain't showing up. Later finds out that his car, the plates have been switched and it's far away, assuming that he's either running away or the car has been ditched because he's been killed, right, by Robert or Ian. So
Allegedly.
allegedly. Well, not allegedly. We saw it solo. You weren't here, so I guess it's allegedly to
Yeah,
you.
allegedly to
We're going to
Solo,
clue
yes.
you in. It actually happened.
Oh, it happened. Okay. Okay.
So anyway, we'll get back to this at
Yeah.
some point, but she had to find out. So we'll shelf. I mean, this isn't much to really talk about until we see whatever
That's like
she
the
does
check-in
about
scene
it.
with Bunny's sister. We had to know that scene
Yeah,
happened, so it's
exactly. And it's the same thing as this scene with Bunny's sister in the hospital and Mike
hmm
with her in the hospital. These are good scenes, but we don't really need to talk too much about them. Cindy arrives for work. This is when Cindy goes on her mission, who
Oh yeah.
also, I don't get this in a sense too, because she kind of outs herself as well, right? Like she's just running around. Where's Kyle? The prisoner's missing. Oh my God, where's Kyle? Where's Kyle?
She at
Eventually,
least was smart enough to not use his name. She just used prisoner number and everything. But
yes,
I mean, those guys,
but we know who he
Torres is
is.
smart enough. They're gonna figure that out
She
that
was
But
he's
just
in.
she not only loops Breen into watching doing her job for her while she goes to figure out where he is in the infirmary or whatever, but then she ends up running into Torres, who says, "Oh yeah, we'll look into it," but who's also probably making a check mark. Why is she so fucking concerned about Kyle?
Hmm.
So I thought this was giving her away and spells a little bit of perhaps doom. And also, Breen says, "You owe me a favor." That's not good either.
oh, that's worse than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything to say about this, guys?
Just that it was the whole thing was freaking uncomfortable with her walking through there and getting the cat calls and everything. Like, oh man, that's Cindy. It's
No.
oof.
Well, one thing I'll say about this episode, and Axel, you kind of got the ball started and rolling on this, but like they're doing a lot of multiple scenes intercut like quickly for tension,
Yeah. The
and it
close cutting.
works. And yeah, the cross cutting, and I know they must have done it before, but this episode they did it multiple times with
Hmm.
different, and
Yep.
I felt the tension,
Me
And
too.
I was like you in this prison. I'm freaked out. I do
I'm
not want to be
freaked
there.
the fuck out.
That's
Yeah,
No,
like
thank you.
they are shooting. They are doing this in such a way where this is the first time in a long time in a show where I was like scared.
I know
yeah.
this
It's
brings me back to Oz, man. When I used to
Yeah,
watch Oz, I used to have to stop watching and I'd go take a walk. I was living in Jersey City at the time, and I'd have to go take a walk around the block or something like that, and I'd still feel it, all the concrete, and I'd be like, "Oh God, I gotta go walk down
yeah.
a
It's
different
I
street."
binged Oz, and I can't believe I
oh
binged the
I
God.
show.
know. Oh,
Wow. You're a stronger man than I am,
that's a.
Solo.
I'll give you a
Jeez
head case. So
Louise.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
hard
no
one.
wonder I had some dark years during that time.
I
That's
know.
why.
Well, speaking of which, we're come up to this scene where exactly what um, Solo is talking about. This is pretty much the centerpiece of this episode, the most tense, cross cutting. We have Kyle and Jen Pop. We have him trying to make a phone call, trying to get out of there. Cindy finds out where he is. She calls Mike. Mike calls the prison. Meanwhile, then Kyle gets to the phones. He calls Mike. He's on the phone with Mike. Mike's like, try to find Raph, stay with Raph. But before he can do that, some cops come up to Kyle. They pull him away. Then we see Raph at the coming out the door, looking on the steps. He's like, "Oh shit!" He's being led to the slaughter. They know what's going to happen, but what can they do? They can't jump the cops there, and right?
Yeah.
Which maybe they could have. I don't know, but it was happening so fast. Next thing you know, Kyle knows where he's going. He's being led into a little room where there's a bunch of guys. They look like maybe they're Colombians.
Cruz was there.
Cruz was
Roberto
there,
Yep.
and
Cortez or Cruz. I can't.
I think it's
Cortez.
Cortez, I think.
Cortez. Yeah.
Cortez. Yes, it is Cortez. I remember the
Cortez.
Explorer. Oh no! What happens though? Kyle is about to, I think, have a pee pee in his doo doo
Well, they're
hole.
about to knock his teeth out, so he gives better head. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's
Oh,
soften
okay.
the. Yeah.
Okay, it was.
I know my
Okay.
prison stuff, Axel.
Okay.
Didn't you pay attention, Axel? He just said he just binged Oz. It reminded him of it. It's,
I mean, come on. Oh, not just binge, but I
well,
did.
yeah.
I have
am
an
not
Oz
upset at
background.
myself for missing this. So okay, I'm all right with
No,
it.
I've heard
That's
stories.
what it was. Oh, that's what was okay.
They would
It was.
he had their heavy wrench because he goes, "We're gonna make you pucker tight," or whatever the line
I
was, and he was
Yep.
gonna smack him in the mouth and break his teeth.
Listen, as soon as I saw him bent over and the pants go down, I think my brain just shut off and I was like, oh shit, this is awful. Like Kyle is going to get it. Then it's in a scene like this, it's just so horrific. You know, you're saying to yourself, okay, is the person, is somebody going to help him? And then the AB jumps in, but you're also like, how quickly did they get there? But now that I understand it was really more of a BJ
Well,
in
and
the
right
other
before
way.
that,
Well, it
like
was gonna be both.
a few minutes before that, though, we did get set up
Oh,
of what was going to happen because there
what
was
they call
another
it, spit
tense.
roast.
There,
Did I just end the podcast?
You're listening to
Did I get us thrown off Apple
Feed Kyle,
Podcasts?
the new
I'm not even
Mayor
going to
of
say
Kingstown
kid show
podcast.
because we're so far beyond
Oh,
kid
we-
show
We
at this
should
point.
not even be laughing about this, but it's a TV show. This is horrific, though.
Yeah,
This
no,
had me
we're not. We're
scared
not.
shitless.
We're not critiquing
Yeah.
a documentary here that
Yes,
really
yes.
happened.
This was very
No,
well
it's-
done, though. The way it
Whew.
was shot, the guys, everything. Eventually, long story short, we all know what happens. The AB comes in and rescues Kyle, and they take him out the other side. And they're like, "We got you, brother. We got you."
And there was a scene before. Did you guys assume that was going to happen? I did, just because of that. I think we skipped over it, but there was a little scene a few minutes before that, another
In the chow
uncomfortable
line.
scene in the mess hall, where
Yes,
the
thank
guy's
you.
like,
I
"I will
forgot that
fucking
one.
kill you, back away," and what to say? I
Yeah.
will fuck you and whatever the hell it was.
Split
I
you
mean,
in half or whatever.
yeah.
And then he's
So and he
because he's
obviously
showing
looked,
to Kyle how
And that's
yeah,
exactly what Merle
he looked
said.
very
right?
AB, and I'm like, okay, they're
Yeah.
gonna bail him out of
Yeah.
this somehow.
I
This
thought he
was-
put something in the bread. He's like, stick together, brother, or whatever
That-
Hulk Hogan was
That's what I
saying.
thought at first too. That dude was
Or
scary though, man.
Hold on to that, brother, or something.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
I did think there was something in the bread too. You're
Hulkamania's
right.
gonna go wild.
Gonna run wild.
Um,
They were gonna
Run
run wild on
wild.
something, that's
yeah,
for sure.
this was crazy. It was done so well. It was so fast paced. The going in and out of that room or whatever it is, it's kind of like a side building, right? It looked like a similar side building to the where they were loading and
The
unloading the
drugs.
drugs,
Yeah.
It
right?
looked like
That
it might have been
Kevin
like a
saw.
laundry room or something,
Yeah,
one of those kind of things.
it was
On the
fucked
front,
up and
yeah.
scary. It brought me back to the
Oh, to the
end of
prison?
the
Oh,
prison break, or not, I should say the riot at the prison.
oh yeah.
Hmm.
Brought me
That
back to that shit.
on that level, yeah.
Now, to me, I guess in essence, this was all a setup, right? I mean, this whole thing was done so
Yeah,
the
even
ABB
the
could come in there.
and well, even the phone call was a setup because Mike says that later when he's talking to Hobbs. It's like you let him just enough to call me so you would get me here. I mean,
Yep.
it's the whole thing was a setup from Hobbs, so it's amazing. I just
So
I loved it. I mean, I shouldn't say I loved it, but it's just a great
so
writing.
you're saying the AB rescuing him was a setup?
Hmm.
Yes. It was
See,
a
I
setup.
was gonna ask you, I was gonna ask you this question because I'm like the way they show up at the last second does seem like, but then they really knock these guys out and stuff. I guess you got to make it
Yeah,
look
but they're in
real.
prison. Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
also in prison, so it also allows them to burn off a little steam and knock some
yeah.
heads. They don't like each
And
other.
I mean, it ties in perfectly with what Hobbs said to Merle a couple episodes ago about the you keep doing what you're doing and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. You keep
Exactly.
talking to the guy you want.
That's a good
This
point.
way, she's
Yeah,
got Merle in her packet, and Merle's going to have her thumb on Kyle.
And we know
So then they've got
because
something on Mike now.
in
yeah.
the next scene, when Mike is in the holding cell, Nina spills the beans, right? And Mike,
Yeah.
it's all out in the open. She
Hmm.
is working with the Colombians. She is working with the AB. He knows what's going on here,
You're right.
right? She knows, Mike knows. It's all out in the open, and we don't need to
The
theorize it or anything anymore. I mean, we don't know the complexities of
well,
it,
and
but
the one thing about that conversation though is that she says, "What do you know?" And she doesn't add anything to it. She doesn't really confirm stuff, but she
true.
also doesn't deny it.
That's true.
So
That's true.
there could definitely be other layers to this.
Well, I mean,
And I'm sure there
Yeah.
is, but
she does though follow up by saying, Mike, I want you to demonstrate your influence. I want Frank Moses arrested.
Yeah.
mhm.
He's connected to the train that went off the rails. Mike agrees as long as she puts Merle in Gen Pop and Kyle gets to go back to AdSag and they take care of him and protect him and keep them away from each other. So to me, what does she want? She wants Frank Moses arrested. We may theorize and say, hey, is Frank somehow connected to the Colombians? We don't know all that, but are they both vying, like
And
Solo
well,
said?
she
But
also she also didn't say she said she wanted him to be able to prove his power to the people in power,
yeah,
what he can do. So she maybe doesn't want Moses dead. She maybe just that was maybe a way just to show what Mike could get done.
it could also be to show that, as Solo said, that she has the power over Mike,
Yeah.
not Frank Moses,
Hmm.
right? Like, are they both vying for
Yeah, that's
Mike's
what
power?
yeah, well, yeah, or vying power with the Colombians. I think there's a lot
Yes.
of things that could
Well,
be in play here.
Yeah, very
because
interesting.
Moses, there's the attempted murder, of course. Are
Yep.
we, so that we looked, I guess he
Oh
was
yeah, at the in the
Colombian,
police
he was
station, yeah.
cartel. So was that whole thing arrest Moses? We know where he'll be,
Oh,
and it was the hit was set up. That looked like it
that
to me.
had to have been. I did that
Yeah,
never even occurred to me.
So there
yeah.
you go.
That had to have
You
been
you
Solo.
get him out into the open. They know where he's going to be.
Spoiler
They
alert for
plant.
the end of the episode.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
I'm
Well,
just kidding.
can't
I'm
believe I
just
didn't put
kidding.
that together. That
We
of
all
course that
watched
is
it.
what it is,
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't
But
a
we still,
coincidence.
but that's, but that, I also, again, though, I have to say, we just never know, right? Because there are sometimes different factions inside of the same faction. Like our understanding
right.
of it cannot
Hmm.
be as it's not as complicated. So until it gets to be. All right. Anyway, this is a great scene. It's really weird to see Mike behind bars, isn't it? I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
It's weird. And is that some sort of foreshadowing?
I hope not.
Kyle gets brought back to back to AdSag. We get a nice kind of slow-mo here while he's coming in, and we see that the guys bringing him are definitely AB looking motherfuckers. And when Cindy tells him that he has his brother there, someone to visit him, he says, "Not right now. I can't do it now." We kind of get a shot of the guys. Smart move on Kyle's part. Whether or not he's gone over to the AB side at this point, he kind of has to, right? Cindy meets up with Mike and says, Kyle, he doesn't want to meet with you. And Mike seems to kind of understand. He's upset, but he seems to understand. And I thought this was an interesting, it shows the way the balance of power has shifted, right? He can't even talk to his brother.
Well, and also too, I know Cindy might have played her hand a little bit with Torres, but I like how they did the charade on the phone like they don't know each other.
Mm-hmm. I agreed.
Yes.
That they actually like, no, they were very, I mean, they gave a look,
Yes,
of course,
you
at
are
the
right.
end.
You are right.
But I was like, interesting. Okay, is that going to be enough? Or is Torres already on the scent? Because I just,
It's also interesting that one of Mike's conditions was that Merle gets put back in Gen Pop, and he is most decidedly not in Gen Pop.
that he won't.
She completely disregarded that one. So
I don't think she's going to do that, and she'll find some loophole.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't technically agree.
And
yeah, that's right.
She'll assume that he's not going to find out or something. And I before we get too far away, it was a little while back, and I wanted to get this line out because it was amazing, and I like cheered out loud when I heard it. When Cindy first finds out about Kyle being gone, and she calls Mike, and Mike was explaining, well, don't trust Torres. He's in bed with Hobbs and all this, and she says, "Is anyone in this place not corrupt?"
Yeah.
And I just like, yes, Cindy, that is the line of the season right now. I love it.
Yeah,
and the answer to your question, great. Cindy, is no.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right, so this is where we get this is where we get what Solo was pointing out earlier. Mike now meets with Moses. Surprisingly, the cops need to talk to Moses. Oh, it's just a little bit of it's just a catch and release, right? They just want to talk to you. They're going to ask you some questions. Then they're going to let you go. Moses doesn't seem too excited about this. I've never been brought in with handcuffs, Mike. So we're going to make a nice arrangement that you can go in. They'll come pick you up, Ian and Stevie and our boys. It's all going to be good. And then he says, "Well, okay, I have to bring my white lawyer with me." So he brings his white lawyer in a suit with him too,
and he's nervous. Drinking too with him, the lawyer.
Exactly. Yeah, he needs some drinks. And basically, Moses agrees to it. As Mike's leaving, he calls Ian and basically says, of course, the real plan is to keep Moses as long as he can to show the warden that he's serious. He asks Ian how Bunny's doing and about Lamar too. Did he cooperate? And Ian says, not really. He didn't seem to want to get arrested for the gun charge or whatever. Mike says, okay, well, I should go talk to him. So he's going to go do that. Mike goes and interviews Lamar. We had on our text chain. I thought that we got these shots of Lamar's hands to show that he was kind of wringing his hands like he was nervous. Andy thought maybe that bracelet was like something.
I thought the gold chain was something they were focusing on, but
yeah.
Yeah, see, I thought it was I thought he was doing a nervous tick. I didn't even notice. And then,
okay, yeah.
I remember that I was driving and stuff, but I didn't see the whole of the text chain. But I saw you said about the bracelet. I'm like, oh, he's gotten paid. And I never even thought of that.
Part of what I was thinking is, I mean, he's at there. They had said before he was going to his house. That house looked like a dump, and that gold chain was obviously expensive. I don't know. It just stuck out to me that was, and it looked to me that they were focusing. Maybe they were just focusing on the hand wringing. I could be wrong there, but that was kind of what led me to believe that maybe he was being paid off. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, that could have been from Bunny too, for all I know. But
I love having the two options because
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it until you mentioned bracelet. I watched it the second time. I saw a bracelet. Didn't even see the bracelet the first time. I just saw what he was doing with his hands,
Yep.
as you can see on YouTube. And I'm not doing it very well, but
Now, this is interesting because one of the first things that Mike asks him is he says, "You served with coal, right?" And he says, "Yeah, that was my reference." And I couldn't remember who Cole was. And after looking the guy up, I still couldn't really place him. His name is Patrick Cage, but he did look like one of Frank's guys. I
Well,
think he's the guy who is like driving. He might work with Frank,
the important thing there is you served with him. Does that mean
right?
served in prison or served in
Oh,
military?
wow. I mean,
Probably prison because they said he was. Didn't Ian say he had a gun rap or something and didn't want to go back to prison? So that probably means served in prison. I'm probably
yeah,
thinking too much on
I
that.
think that this
see
guy,
if
I'm looking at his picture. I think this is the guy who is driving, is one of the drivers for Frank. So that makes sense to what occurs in this scene
right.
directly afterwards, which is that after talking to Lamar and kind of tricking him too, because he also says, "Oh, Bunny woke up." And then he's
Yeah.
like, "He did?" And then he's like, "Oh shit, I knew Bunny couldn't he kind of gets happy. It's a little
Hmm.
suspect
Oh,
anyway.
he totally is
Yeah, it's
gives off
suspect.
that 3 seconds of
Yeah.
wait, he can't be alive. Shit. Yeah.
And then also Lamar tells Mike that Moses has them posted up 24/7 at the hospital, but Mike told Moses not to put anybody up at the hospital.
Oh, was that at the
So,
hospital or just
but
in the street?
that's what I wasn't
I thought
sure
it was just
about.
the
Yeah, I
streets.
thought it
Okay,
was just
Okay.
the
maybe it's
streets
just
too.
okay.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can move past
He
that
didn't say
then.
hospital. Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought he meant the hospital. Okay, forget that then. Then he did follow, but that's still interesting. That whole thing about are we going to put people at the hospital or not? Because I mentioned that because Stevie and Ian are outside. Ian's doing some scratch offs. Ian says he's going to win and get a cabin in Montana. Now, I have to ask you a question. Ian wants a cabin in Montana. Mike wants to go to Canada and make pancakes. Maybe they can meet somewhere in the middle, or they can both go to Montana or both go to Canada,
yeah.
you
I like
know?
that idea.
Maybe get a cabin somewhere. Anyway,
But I love the throwback to Ian and his scratches because he's
yes,
scratched in many
he
episodes,
has. He likes his
and
scratches.
I'd love that. And then, I mean, just bringing in the banter with Stevie this season,
Yeah,
really hitting all diabetic cats and different things. It's just they found a way to use the Stevie character to make him fun and to get him more because his
I love
ribbon
it.
of Ian is great.
They are always at each other. Now, I don't know, is this ever going to become something where Stevie finds out about I mean, he
And he
already
gets fed up.
knows.
It seems to be that he
I
it
should
might
say,
to me,
yeah.
but
Well, I should
I
say
don't
that
know.
because remember, Stevie figured out about Ellen and dropping he doesn't know about Robert and the witness, but he did
No, that
figure
might
out
be
about
yeah.
dropping the brick on Ellen, though. Remember
yeah,
at the
well,
bar, he figured it out?
and the information about the witness being killed is not out there yet either, or
Nope.
disappeared.
That's gonna,
So
yeah, that's so I don't know. I still think that there's a possibility that Ian and Stevie
I
could
think
Do
so
you
be
too.
guys? I
on the
because I believe it
rocks.
was from last episode, but do you believe we talked about Evelyn? Have we talked about Evelyn yet losing the case, or is that coming up? That's coming up, right? I'm sorry, I'm not very good with the recap. How we, I get confused because I always want to jump all around.
We
No.
haven't really
Oh
talked
no,
about
no.
it.
Well,
Okay,
we
I'll wait.
did.
I'll
We did.
save it.
No, we
Yeah,
did.
well, you
We
kind of mentioned it. It was just as a
yes.
quick. She finds out
Let's
about it.
finish this and then
Okay,
I'll
okay,
mention it again solo.
okay.
Definitely. Okay, we should get into more of that. You're right. Um, so they're doing the scratch offs. He talks about the cabin. Mike comes out. He says to them, Lamar got flipped. They say the cartel got to him. He says, no, Moses got to him. I've been so focused on the fucking cartel. Moses has been wanting Bunny from the fucking start. The train wreck drew him out, I guess he said, and it
Yeah,
gave
Drew
him the
Bunny out.
chance. Drew
I think it
Bunny
was to
out.
Drew Bunny out so Moses
Yeah.
could take him down, I think was.
Which also seems like Moses could also say, "Hey, Bunny, I'll meet you over there," and Bunny would have went. You know what I mean? He seemed to do whatever he told him to do.
I think in Mike's eyes here, though, he's thinking that Moses is
Just
trying to do it
convenient.
in a way that it could not be tied back to Moses, because that's kind of Moses's
Yeah.
thing, is I want to stay clean.
Yeah.
Right. And that brings up another thing too, which is that is it just that did Mike think that Moses was coming in here purposefully to go after Bunny, or it was just Bunny is going to be collateral to whatever plans he has? And now that this has happened and it could get traced back to him because the cargo was left in the train, right? That he decides, let me take out Bunny.
Well, so how we talked before, so the theory of Moses maybe did it on purpose, so he wouldn't have, right? Because it would get back to him, or he didn't think it would get back to him, but then he's like, "Your depot," and it's like, oh, so
Yeah,
now
that's
I don't know if that makes
No,
it
no,
sense
doesn't.
yeah,
that
it doesn't.
Moses,
It
It
doesn't
probably
make
doesn't.
sense.
so
No,
that can't
no.
happen. Yeah,
I don't
he
think
wouldn't
that
have done
makes
that.
sense at all. But it does make sense that he's trying to take whatever Bunny has, right?
Right,
Or
correct.
move in on Bunny. But what I'm trying to say is it that is it that this opportunity arose because of what the Colombians did, that he feels he's forced to take out Bunny at this point
Oh,
because it could get traced back to him? Do you see what I'm trying to
I
say?
got
That
you.
they
I
kind of
got you.
forced his hand,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Like otherwise, he
Hmm.
would not have taken out Bunny at this point. He would have continued to work with him,
That's a good point. That's a great point, actually. It seems
but
too soon.
exactly. But because the guns are in there, this way he can kind of blame it on Bunny. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Right,
looks
right,
like it's a Bunny hit because he gets hit at the same time
right.
this cart full of guns. So I think there's something interesting to be said about that. It might come up
I'm
later, it might not.
I'm thinking that Bunny was always a target for him. He may have sped it up because he saw an opportunity to take him out.
That's what yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But I
That's
yeah.
think
what I'm saying.
the other thing I'm wondering, and you kind of in the text chain actually, you kind of said something about this. Did Mike jump to this conclusion too quickly, or what exactly led Mike to jump into this conclusion? Is
Yes.
Mike? So I'm one of two thoughts. Part of me thinks yes, Mike is right, and he put the pieces together. The other part of me thinks is Mike jumping to a conclusion that might not be true here because he wants it to be true because he has never
Right.
liked Moses. I
No.
don't know which
And
way I'm
yeah.
thinking. What are your guys'
I
thoughts there?
Hmm.
I think it's a little bit of both because he also just always wants to protect Bunny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And he
saying?
obviously doesn't trust Moses, and he
Yeah.
hasn't liked him the
No.
whole season, or
He has a
so.
rep. They
Yeah,
all knew him, right? Like we have to keep reminding ourselves that we
keep
didn't
the
know him,
outsiders out and all this.
but
Yeah.
in this world, he had a bad rep,
Hmm.
that they all knew about. Um, so anyway, regardless of this, okay, now that they have discovered, Mike believes that the hit on Bunny was orchestrated by Frank Moses. Mike says we should continue with the plan we had earlier with the warden because we still have to satisfy her, right? So let's just do the catch and release, hold him as long as you can, but we're still just don't give away that we know anything, right? We're going to keep doing what we're doing. So we get a
Well,
beautiful,
and after that, at the very end of that, Mike has a good line there too. When I take down Moses, I'm going to take him down for good.
yeah, that's
So
true.
he's ready to
Like I
just,
did Milo.
It's
yeah.
in Milo. We get a beautiful shot of the fog and the train and Moses up
Yeah.
there. They're listening to Ella Fitzgerald, drinking their whiskey with their white lawyer. They get taken into the
Okay,
station.
before we get off that,
Oh,
that scene in there, and I was going to mention it earlier, but it'll fit here too perfectly. We talked about this before. LJ. Earlier in the
Oh
episode,
yeah.
Moses says LJ's my ace in the hole. We see LJ again
Yes.
up in in
Thank you,
the train
Ando.
depot. He's sitting there with him, listening to Ella Fitzgerald with
cigar.
the lawyer, drinking. He sits there and stays, and we get a shot of him watching what's going on outside, and it's from
We sure
his
do.
point of view.
We sure do.
And we get other talks about you guys are just pawns here. There's people upper levels you don't even know about, is what Sicario
Yeah.
says to Mike, something along those lines.
Yeah, yeah.
The more we see of LJ, the more I'm like, there's got to be something
Yeah.
there with him.
I think at some point we're going to get a scene where the Sicario and LJ meet and they're like, let's just settle this between us. And they
That's
say,
You,
okay, you get this side of Kingstown, we get the other. And they go, good job, bye. Because we're the real people in charge.
yeah. So do
Um,
you think LJ is because he is Frank's right hand man, or maybe he's the real Frank Moses, whatever. But do you think maybe he's doing a power play to like, I want my time now?
I don't know. That's
You know,
possible as
I
well
have
as
some
it's
of
so he's in bed
possible
with the
that he's in
cartel, maybe.
charge. I
I have
think,
some of
Yeah,
the similar feelings I have with Torres and Hobbs and with Raph and Bunny. They've
yeah,
all got these
it's
lieutenants that I'm like,
you're right.
are they all trying to go after their jobs or
Power
it can
change. It's
be,
like the offensive coordinators now want the
yes,
head coach
yes,
job.
yeah.
You know,
yes,
Either way,
exactly.
it's you know what it is, Solo guys. If they're going to go against them, if they're going to backstab them, if they just want their power, either way, it does lend itself to so many situations in which there's like power dynamics between people, and
you're right.
that's Mike is out there just trying to navigate it all. And meanwhile, Breen is jerking off in his car,
God.
staring at Cindy as she walks by. But the thing that is bad about this scene is he can't
Elvis.
jizz. It's all for
He's
nothing.
impotent. He's impotent.
He's
That's his
impotent.
frustration this whole
Yep.
episode. He's sexually frustrated.
That's
And
why he's the locker,
God,
right?
oh
He's
yeah,
locking the
dude, it's a build
locker.
up. A build
It's a
up.
when
build up.
when that scene started, I'm like, he's not doing what I think he is he? And I'm like, oh, wait a second. Oh, yep. Oh, yeah, he
You know
is.
what's
It
funny?
Oh,
is.
God.
When I
Breen.
first saw it, I thought he was in there with a woman. And then when it went back to him, I go, oh no, he's not. He's not.
He's doing his thing.
He's doing his
And that
brain.
is gonna obviously this is not gonna end well, folks. So
Oh, God.
uh still interesting though that there is much more to the relationship with him and Mike and Kyle that Cindy doesn't know about, that he doesn't seem to be focusing on Kyle. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
more
it's still
stuff
sitting back.
happening
There's
there.
a lot of stuff
Yeah.
still sitting in the background that has not come to light
Or
on a lot of different
exactly.
parties.
Yeah.
That's why I hope there's got to be something because I feel like this storyline's a waste if there isn't a bigger payoff. If he's just a
There
scumbag who's
will
going to go
be.
after Cindy, do we really need it?
I don't know.
But
You know what? I guess we'll see Solo, right?
yeah,
Well,
we'll
I
see.
mean, when Mike
I
finds this
trust this
out,
show,
Mike's
so
going to go after because
Yeah.
Mike already knows that Breen went after Kyle's wife. When he finds out he's after Cindy, this is going to be a Mike
That's
thing for
well,
sure.
what happens if they're out at a bar and he
Yeah.
sees Mike and Cindy together, or you know
And
what I mean, or he sees him pick her up,
what
or
happens if Mike finds that out roughly the same time he finds out the witness is missing and that Iris is dead? I mean,
yeah,
there's so many things that Mike doesn't know yet
that's
that when it
true.
hits, it's going to
Yeah.
be an avalanche of really bad shit going
and
on, I
and
think.
that's why we say pick up the phone, Mike, because you
Hmm.
gotta get that
Yes.
info. It's coming through hot and heavy. Next up, Callahan's talking to Kyle. Um, he says, part of the family now. You recognize the value. We protect our own. It's the code by any means necessary. All right, that's what he
Brother.
says. So Kyle's
When's the
going
last
down
time
the
someone
road.
did that for you? That was another big line at the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, let's put ourselves in Kyle's position. What is he going to do? At this point in time, he has no choice. He would have, even if Callahan hadn't have put on this whole song and dance, he would have had to done
Well, I
whatever
mean,
was told for him to do. You
in
know,
his
he
mind,
doesn't
he
have
knows
any
Mike can't.
power.
I mean, in his mind, he knows Mike can't protect him in
Yep.
there, and
No
Kai and
power.
Merle
Not at
can.
all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing.
He has to, and that's just his I give up. I'm tired. He's
Yep.
he's given it. Now, I want to give Kyle a little bit of credit here in the fact of I don't know if he'll completely brainwash um to where I'm hoping Kyle is strong enough to be like, I'm just going to use them to survive in here.
I think
You
that's
know.
his bond with his brother is still going to trump it
Yeah.
at the end.
It's 6 months, but 6 months can be a long
6 months
time in
can feel like
Kingstown,
6
baby.
years.
Yep,
Well,
maybe
and
even
6 months,
60.
could turn into a lot more if he keeps
600.
doing the Batman 89, knocking people out like you were
That's
saying
true.
before. I
Yeah.
mean, it's because
What
I mean,
are you?
yeah.
I'm bad
All
boy.
right. So we're getting towards the end here, folks.
I
And
feel it.
another big action scene. Ian's bringing Frankie Moses in. Ian is, while he's walking up, we see this guy filling out some forms. Ian kind of looks over his shoulder at him like he's clocking him, right?
Ian's
Like, what's
clocking
he,
him.
at first, when I first watched it, because I rewatched this scene a couple times, I thought maybe this was a setup that Mike was trying to take out Frank
Oh,
Moses,
Oh,
right? And because Ian clocks him, he looks at him and then he keeps walking. And then he looks again and he goes, gun! And he pushes him through
yeah.
the door. So it was not a set, it was not at
I
all.
think this was actually the most competent we've seen Ian actually doing his job
Yes.
that we've ever
Yep.
seen on this show. Like not being he like I say he looked at the guy, he clocked it in his head, and then he knew to look back and saw what was going on. I mean, he's Ian saved Frank's life.
And
Yeah,
then he
he
steps back out and shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
I know
Whoa.
that was not that was pretty nice. Yeah, it seems like Ian being on edge. See, it's like when you think you're untouchable and you're bulletproof, you don't like cars get then all of a sudden get blown up in your
Yeah.
and so I think because Ian knows everything, he's so on edge. I think he's hyper
Yeah.
I think
sensitive or
you're
whatever
right.
that maybe on a Wednesday 3 years ago he might not have clocked that but again dealing with cartels, racial
Pizza
profiling.
guys, Robert.
Serial killers that have killed people for you. I mean, there's
Yep. Bricks that
Good
look
night,
like
Eon.
TVs.
And then
yeah.
he killed the serial killer.
That you end up killing and say you were just taking him to the dentist. You don't know what happened. Yeah.
It's a hard fucking
That
road. It's a
freaking
hard road.
dentist.
Scratch offs, diabetic
Scratch
Yeah,
cats,
offs.
losing at scratch offs, that is stressful.
hockey games, you
Yeah,
know?
keeping kids out of juvie.
Keeping, oh gosh, it's a long list. Anyway,
No.
we all saw what happened. This was nuts. And who gets shot actually? Keno. Poor old Keno, the
I
Mac
think
Daddy
The Mac
himself.
I think the
Daddy.
lawyer gets taken out too, doesn't he? Isn't that the lawyer that gets shot too?
He may have. I
There's
may have
another guy
missed
that gets
that.
hit, another white guy that gets
Okay.
hit and like falls against the.
I thought he just threw himself
I couldn't
against
tell
the
if he was
wall.
running away or if he actually got hit. But
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah, I don't
Keno
know.
yeah,
definitely got shot. I hope he makes it. It
well,
looked like it was near the heart.
he said I got
Could
hit
have
in
been
the
his
arm.
shoulder.
Keno says I
Oh,
had the
okay.
captions on. It does say
Okay.
he yells back and says I got hit in the arm, so I think he's okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Hopefully he's okay. Well, thoughts and prayers for Keno. But it does look like it was a Colombian hit to take out Frank solo. You said it earlier. Was this the plan? Why Nina? They just in the same way that Mike said Frank saw an opportunity to draw Bunny out.
Hmm.
Was
Right.
this the opportunity to draw Frank out? They took the opportunity. They tried to take him out. If that's what happened, what's going to happen next? What's the retribution? It is things are going nuts. And meanwhile, Mike arrives at the hospital. He tells Bunny's sister to go ahead to sleep, and he just sits there with his bro, Bunny, at the end, and the episode ends. It's
Just
quiet in
you and me, buddy.
Kingstown. Yep, but it's about to blow up, baby. Because, wow, that was quite an episode.
So that
I
the thing. Oh, go ahead, Solo. Go ahead.
no. I just wanted to share my emotion of watching the last two episodes back to back because I didn't
Oh God.
record with you guys.
I
I'm
know.
still like,
Well, 2 episodes ago, the last 2 episodes have both been freaking fantastic.
I mean, they're been greatly joined together as just that intense. I mean, this season, I mean, it might be hard to top season one for me, but man, this is leaning towards my favorite season of all time, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah.
The
I agree. I love it because you know what? It was almost like a different show. We know we got a different showrunner, and the show did change, right? And even
mhm.
the writing on the show changed, and that's okay with me. It took a little while. They now know what they are. They're firing on all cylinders. This episode, the action is awesome. The dialogue, the characters,
The
the
tension is
situation,
just
the
crazy.
tension,
Freaking Ian's
the
dialogue,
locations,
just him and
everything
Renner,
is great.
going back and forth. It's just, it's just I love it. Like I live for that. Like them just saying oh God, fuck you, Ian. Oh, come on, Mike.
I
You know, it's
know.
just
It's
like,
so great.
it's it.
There's
Yeah,
not many shows that really make you put everything down and away and just watch the show and sit there just watching the show. And that's what I do with Mayor of Kingstown. I'm not doing anything else. I ain't looking at no phone. I'm not
exactly.
pausing it or I
Well, this and
pretty
Love
much
Island,
hit
right?
play and watch it. Well, Love Island has a special place in my heart. No, actually, reality is the opposite. My wife and I talk
Yeah,
during the
I
entire episode.
know,
That's the
I
only
know.
reason we
Right.
watch
I just
reality
had to get a
Yeah.
TV.
reality TV pod shot in there.
This
I couldn't
this
help
is
myself.
it,
Thank you, Ian. I appreciate that, Ando.
I
I
I
was
like
know you
that.
actually
would,
trying to
Solo.
think because I did watch the last season of Love Island, Ando. I haven't watched all seasons, but I did watch the last season. I was building a lot of Lego. Ariana hosted it from Vanderpump. Anyway, let's get back to
What have
Kingstown,
I
baby.
done? Remind me not
What
to
a
bring up
great see
reality
if
again,
you
Solo.
start, I
You
can't.
you
I
you
won't
went to
stop,
Vanderpump.
baby. Oh,
But I'm the only one who ate at a restaurant, so
it's coming back, Solo. You're
is
about to
it?
see those people again. They
All
recast
right,
it. Anyway, this episode was fucking
good.
awesome. We have so much going on. Will Bunny live? Will
Okay, you know what?
Keno
Before we go, I
live?
got a
What's up?
question for you guys.
Okay.
With this
Okay.
the last scene,
I saw.
or not I shouldn't say the last scene, the shootout in the thing in the police department. Who's
Right.
going to be more mad at Mike? Is it going to be Hobbs because he wasn't taken out, that Moses wasn't taken out? Is it going to be Moses because he's going to be like, you set me up to get shot? Isn't everyone going to be after Mike now because of this? Because both
How
sides are
about
not
Ian
happy
and
with the result.
Stevie? Keno
Yeah,
got
or
shot.
yeah. I mean, I got a feeling Mike's not going to have a
But
whole lot of allies right now.
No, I think it's going to be more maybe a Frank thing because, and then Mike's going to be pissed at Hobbs. Will probably figure out that's why I think why
I
she
would
brought.
think
yes.
Frank would want to declare war on Mike at this point because he's like, "You told me this would be easy. You set me up, you son of a bitch. I walk in and
Maybe
you maybe not. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
I
very
don't know if he'd
curious.
say that, but with
Well,
LJ,
yeah,
he'd probably plot something. Maybe he's already plotting to take him out. I don't know.
hmm.
well, I mean, that is plausible. It is a bit of a leap, and he doesn't know the conversation that Nina and Mike had. I
True.
know but it is plausible. You're right, Ando, that he would see it that way, right? Because he was so nervous about going in. Mike was the one who
And
kind of brokered this.
Mike
Yeah.
You
kind
know
of
what I'm
talked him down
saying?
as like it's going to be real easy. I'll have you
Yeah.
walk in the
There
front
was a
door and walk out
leak.
the
There must
back.
have
Good
been,
point.
and Frank's going to say to him, at least there was a leak. Someone knew I was there. How did
Yeah.
someone know I was there, Mike?
If I
Right?
was in
Like
Frank's
that.
position, I would 100% think it
Yeah.
was a setup to
Yeah.
get me there and take me out.
And then
Hmm.
at that point in time, I mean, see the weird thing about this show is always that everybody can make moves, but the moves that Mike makes necessitate someone else doing it for him,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So it's like when Frank makes moves, he makes moves. Bunny makes moves. Even if it's other guys, he's making the move.
Yeah.
But it's like Mike moves the cops, but he
Mike is more like a
doesn't
coach or
really.
something that calls
Yeah,
the
because
plays and
he
everybody else
can't do
does it. Yep.
everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't arrive at the scene and go, everybody leave. Like they're
hmm
not going to leave. He's not a cop, but he
Hmm.
can walk over to Ian and get the info.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very interesting the position that Mike is in. I just wonder, like, what can he really do at this point in time? Bunny's knocked
Yeah.
out.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
he's got to get in touch with Raph somehow,
He
or
needs some more allies.
Yeah. Like I
yeah,
say, his ally, that's part of what I was thinking with this question. I was like, most of his allies might be against him
yeah.
at this point. What do you even,
I don't know. Maybe
But
Cindy
it was
is
it was
part of like,
interesting. We didn't really say anything, but with the Sicario guy, like how he knew who Mike was. And
hmm
he's like, "You
yeah,
know me?
Mayor. Yep.
You know me?"
Yeah,
Like, of course. Well, you can come here and not know the mayor.
Yeah,
you're the
everyone knows the
mayor.
mayor. Yeah.
You're the mayor. All right, guys.
Hmm.
Great episode. Everyone, hey, thanks again for the reviews. Thanks again for the Patreon joining of memberships. We love it. We love you all. Enjoy the ads if you're listening to us through Acast. We appreciate that as well. And we'll be back next week. We can't believe it. I can't remember when this is running, so I don't know if Thanksgiving. Oh, Thanksgiving already happened. So hope you had a good
Have a great.
Thanksgiving
Oh
Yes.
if
yeah.
you're
Yeah,
in the
this
US,
will air
because
on
we are
Sunday.
recording this earlier.
Yes, this Sunday.
Yeah. We watch them earlier, folks, but we never watch ahead. That's the
Oh
thing we
no.
never do. It's only one episode at a time. So we have not yet seen the next episode.
No, I will
But
wait.
we
I
are
can't.
watching early.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we're doing.
Just so we
You
can get the
know,
podcast out in a timely fashion is
Yeah.
really the reason.
Yep.
yeah.
All
Awesome.
right. Well, we appreciate it all. Gentlemen, you're the best. Solo, Ando, thank you. Check us out. Around the Couch is actually tomorrow night on our YouTube. DVR podcast on YouTube. Check it out. You can watch live around 6:30 or so
On
Pacific, I think.
Wednesday,
Yeah, it
because
won't be
when you
tomorrow
hear
night
this,
if you're listening.
it won't
Yeah.
be Monday.
Wednesday nights.
Oh, that's right. Forget that I said that.
Happy Easter, guys.
Yeah.
Good night, Eon.
Let's just end it there. I don't even know where I am at this point. Buddy! All right. Pick up the phone, Foley. Wake up!